Hey guys, it's Matt Higgins. So we all know that Darth Maul is evil. He was a Sith, a criminal overlord, and did some terrible things. But in this video, I want to talk to you about why you should feel bad for Darth Maul. I know you're probably like, Matt, but how on earth are you going to persuade me that I should feel bad for a villain? Well, this argument starts with a little bit of background on where Darth Maul came from and how he became a Sith. Darth Maul was born on the planet Dathomir, son of Mother Talzin. He was one of 3 blood brothers, including Savage Opress and Feral. At the time, Mother Talzin was in league with Darth Sidious, and it was her expectation that she was going to become Darth Sidious's apprentice at some point. And Darth Sidious, being the devious man that he is, made the promise to her that she would become his apprentice. But when that day came, Darth Sidious chose Maul instead. Mother Talzin felt absolutely betrayed. Sidious just kidnapped her son, Maul, and took him to be his apprentice. Now, this wasn't like Sidious taking Count Dooku as his apprentice. This was more like Sidious taking a young boy and turning him into a weapon. Sidious played on Maul's emotions in order to show him that the way of the Sith was the only way, and that the Jedi were pure evil. As Darth Maul became older, his power grew, and with that, his bloodlust. But Sidious restrained him, kept him hidden. Now obviously we know this was to keep the Sith hidden, but Maul was also being held back. Sidious knew that if he allowed his apprentice's power to grow unchecked, that he could soon rival his master. After Maul killed his first Jedi Padawan, his brainwashed hate of the Jedi was still unfulfilled. Sidious sent in Maul in order to thwart Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan's attempts to retake Naboo. As we all know, the duel ended with the death of Qui-Gon Jinn, and presumably the death of Maul as well. But now, Maul's hatred of the Jedi was concentrated onto a single person, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Up until this time, Maul was completely loyal to Sidious. Think of him kind of more as like an obedient dog. Okay, so reflecting on what has happened to this moment, Darth Maul basically was ripped away from his mother, kidnapped, brainwashed, and filled with hate against the Jedi. It was obvious that Sidious never cared for Maul. He was simply just using him. One of the points that I've always argued in the past is that Sidious never truly had any real friends. Like, there was nobody that he would take on to the end. He would always betray them, ditch them, leave them when they were no longer useful. Okay, so Maul's in a trash heap. Now, if you watch the Clone Wars, we know that this is where Savage finds him. He is probably legally insane, and it's the lowest low that he's ever been in his life. But Savage manages to rescue him and get him a new pair of legs. The rest is self-explanatory. His rise to the top of the criminal underworld and taking over of Mandalore was all, of course, simply a ploy to draw out Kenobi and exact his revenge. The most important moment in Darth Maul's story up to this point is when he kills Duchess Satine right in front of Obi-Wan Kenobi. He felt this was the crippling blow as he left Obi-Wan Kenobi to rot in prison after watching his love die. The only thing that was left for him was to rejoin Sidious as his apprentice. Of course, we all know that Sidious had replaced him. Darth Sidious was pleasured by the entire duel, including killing Savage Opress and torturing Maul. Sidious wanted to use Maul in order to draw out his own mother and defeat her. Maul is, of course, able to escape, but he loses his grip on Mandalore at the end of the Clone Wars. At this point, Maul was still hell-bent on finding Obi-Wan Kenobi, but also hated Sidious as well. All of his activities centered around getting revenge. His story ended, if you watch Star Wars Rebels you know this, that Obi-Wan killed Maul in the wastelands of Tatooine. As he was dying, Maul began to realize that his true enemy was really never Obi-Wan. In fact, Obi-Wan showed him dignity and respect when he died. It was Darth Sidious. He realized that he was seeking revenge on the wrong person. He saw at that moment that Sidious kidnapped him as a child, used him as a weapon, abandoned him in a pile of trash, replaced him, killed his brother, attempted to use him to kill his mother, and basically hunted him down, pretty much for the remainder of his life. Now, I'm not saying that we should forgive Maul for the things that he did. He definitely did some evil things that are not worthy of being forgiven. But again, just like every character in the saga films, he was manipulated by Sidious some way or another. Just like Dooku, Maul was disposable. He was to be used once and then thrown away. Once his usefulness was exhausted, he was worthless to him. And this is why I think you should feel somewhat sorry for Darth Maul. Because when you look at him in the movies, in the TV shows, you can just see that he's so hell-bent on getting revenge against the wrong person, against the Jedi, because of all of the things that Sidious did to him as a child. And then all of this results in Maul understanding that his life was purely wasted. I really don't think that Dave Filoni and the team on Star Wars Rebels could have done a better job with his death and his final words saying, "He will avenge us." It was in this moment that he acknowledged that his true enemy was Darth Sidious, and that Darth Sidious was the true enemy of everyone in the galaxy. So give those points some thought. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And other than that, that's going to be it for this video. So, have a great weekend, and of course, may the Force be with you, always.